links provided on the register account page. This is one test. Now 24th. So validate registering an account by filling password field and not filling password confirm field. So both should be mandatorily filled. But here this is the negative test case. Again, we are entering the password field, but we are not entering the confirm password field. So in that case, what should happen? It should throw a warning message. So warning message is password confirmation does not match password. Should be displayed under password confirm field. This is also one test. So again, this is again depends on the tester skill set. You have to each and every corner. You have to identify each and every test in that particular application. Then you will be able to write the test cases. So 25 test case 25. Here validate the breadcrumb. I'll tell you what is the breadcrumb. This is the technical term. Validate the breadcrumb page heading, page URL, page title of register account page. And for that, what you have to do, we have to just open that, click on the My Account drop down, click on the register option, and what is expected? Proper breadcrumb, page heading, page URL, and page title should be displayed. So what exactly it is, we need to understand. So what is breadcrumb means? Let's just look at the UI. So currently, I'm just opening my home page. Let us say, okay, so I'm just clicking on the logo. So now I'm in the home page. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just go to register. So now observe this what happens. See this? This is the one. In the home page, I go to account, then I go to, so this is called as a breadcrumb. So breadcrumb is like this. Suppose from here, I'll go to something called let's newsletter. Click on the newsletters. So I think it is navigated to some incorrect page. So once you successfully log in, then these options will work. Suppose let me just click on tablets. See this? Under home page, I click on the tablets. Then when I click on something called software, now under home page I click on the software, and suppose under my account I click on the login. So under account click on the login. So this is called breadcrumb. So this should display for each and every page that we have to verify. Okay, so here valid breadcrumb and page heading. Whenever you navigate in the pages, the page heading should properly display. So when I click on the register, then the page title should be properly displayed. Similarly, when I click on the login, and the page title should be displayed. So you can just look at here. This is actually login screen. So returning customer, new customer should be displayed. Similarly, when I go to any other page, it should display proper title. So when I click on the desktop, when I click on the software, you can see this is the title. So whenever you navigating between the pages, the title should be exactly matched from the register page. And this is one test case. And URL page title we have said URL means this is the URL. That we have to verify. Okay, this is the one test case. And 26. The validate the UI of the register account page. UI. So UI means what? We have to register.
Okay,
We have to verify this UI. Is there any spelling mistakes or not? Element is correct or not? Okay, this is a basic UI part. Spelling mistakes, element, colors, size of the elements. So we have to randomly get this. If there is any requirement for this, you can also go as per the requirement, or else you can randomly test this. So here proper good UI should be displayed on the register account page. So everything should be readable, everything should be clearly understandable, and alignment should be properly aligned. You can see all the text boxes properly aligned, right? But labels are not proper. So just to get here, email is little bit go deeper and it should come exactly even past on. And we have to verify. So all the text boxes are same size or not. Sometimes some text boxes are smaller, some text boxes are larger. So we have to make sure that also properly aligned or not. So that is all about UI testing. So this is one test case. And the last test case, validate register account functionality in all the supported environments. All the supported environments means what? Multiple browsers. And Chrome browser are getting the same kind of UI. All the views are displaying on that. And Edge browser also you have to test. And Firefox browser also you have to test. Okay, so that is all about this. So validate register account functionality in all supported environments. The test we mentioned what are the supported environment. So accordingly, we have to execute the test cases in supported environments. So register functionality is almost all the test cases we have to test in multiple environments, multiple supported environments with respect to browsers and also operating systems also. Sometimes your software will be installed on Linux machine. You are able to access the application from that. So you should be able to access everything in your application. So that is called platform support or supported environments. Okay. these are all different test cases which we have written for registered functionalities. So it takes a lot of time. And similarly, for every scenario, whatever we have listed here, almost 31 scenarios are there. For every scenario, we have to create separate sheets like this, and we have to write test cases for that scenario. If I just look at here, I have just gone through only registration functionality, 27 test cases. Similarly, we also have login test cases. These are all login test cases, almost 23 test cases. Similarly, for logout test cases, for logout 11 test cases, forgot password test cases, search, product compare, product display page. So for every scenario, we have to create a different sheets and we have to write the test cases for that particular scenario. So each scenario is having multiple test cases. Okay, so this is an example I have given. So based upon this, you guys should continue the rest of the things. So I have shown you what are the scenarios to be tested, and I have shown you how to write the test cases for that particular scenario. And similarly, you guys create rest of the sheets for every scenario and try to write the test cases yourself. You guys should understand the functionality. You guys should write all the test cases. And parallelly compare your test cases with my test cases. I will share this document, and whatever test cases you have written, check with my test cases whether you have covered everything or not. So I already created test cases for almost every functionality. So you guys can go to the document, and before that, you guys will have to write your own test cases. Okay, that's your assignment. That's your practice. Fine. So now. So while writing the test cases, always keep in mind all types of test cases. Like UI point of view, what kind of test case I can write. From database point of view, what are the test cases I can write. Or functionality side, what are the different test cases I can write. And value test cases, invalid test cases. So if you keep in your mind all types of test cases, you will be able to write more number of test cases. Okay. So once you start creating the test cases, then you will be confident. So you will get some kind of experience on that. Okay. So similarly, based on the scenarios, I just register test cases, and you guys can continue with the rest of the test cases. And once it is done, so this takes a lot of time, and you will have multiple reviews also. As soon as you complete test cases for one scenario, you guys can review with the team. So first you will do peer review in the sense you will review the test cases by seeing the FRS document, and then you review the test cases with your team or colleagues. Then you review the test cases with your dev and QA team along with the product manager. Then finally you have to get the approval from them, and they will sign off. Okay, that is the actual process. So here, writing the test scenarios and writing the test cases, and at the time of writing the test cases itself, test case of done, we have to prepare something called RTM, readability matrix, because you have created test cases. How will you know whether you covered all the scenarios or not? So you have to prepare something called feasibility matrix. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to prepare a feasibility matrix. And these things will be parallel. Written the test cases, parallelly you have to update the feasibility matrix also. So let me show you how the feasibility matrix will look like. Okay, so this is a RTMS. I have just created a sample document. So here you can see all the details: project name, client, the reference document, the date, validation date, and approval date. And as I said, what is the RTM requirement feasibility matrix? RTM means what? It is a mapping of requirements, scenarios, and test cases. So what are the requirements we have? What are the scenarios we created for that requirement? And how many test cases have we done for that requirement? So this is the mapping. If I just look at here, normally in FRS document, you will find some requirement ID. So for every requirement, they will give some number. You can find that in FRS document itself. So that requirement ID we will specify normally here. I have just given some sample ID here, but there will be some requirement ID, like 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, something like this. And you can specify the requirement ID. Okay, and let's say let's say 1.1 is my requirement ID, and here let's say 1.2 is my requirement ID. So for that requirement, what is the scenarios we created? Sometimes one requirement you can have multiple scenarios, or one requirement you can have one scenario.